The Killing Floor series has been a pretty big staple in the survival horror genre, with its atmospheric maps and its beautiful, beautiful guns. It almost feels as if it should have been something much bigger at times. And it did go into some bigger realms, but eventually those realms made it to where it is now making some mediocre updates with maybe one or two maps and the updates with them. So in this video I will be explaining the rise and fall and my opinions on the game in this video. So with that, let's get on with it, right? First I'm going to talk about the changes from the first and the second game. The second game has some really notable changes whenever you first run it into the game, such as customization, a dosh vault, and even more perks whenever you go into that perk realm. There's so many things to actually use in this game that it's almost impossible to narrow it down to, oh, I have a favorite set that I want to wear all the time. It's really just kind of hard. In the first game you had characters that were just kind of, characters. They were pre-made and already thought out. All had the same voice actor too. Characters in this game have somewhat of a personality. They have somewhat more of a personality, and well, with that you have costumes, you have different voice actors and actresses. You have things that you can wear over the normal clothes and all this other stuff. It's almost like a different change of pace from the get-go. It almost feels like as if you're trying to play something more fast-paced, and maybe not looking, maybe you're looking for that, maybe you're not. Although I do see this as an up to the progress that Tripwire is making with the Killing Floor series. The next very notable change in between games is gameplay. Difference between Unreal engines. It's almost weird seeing the evolution of both games just because of how they both play. I've played both games extensively. Well, not the first one on my most recent account right now, because only have I really just reinstalled it and then just started playing on it. It's also very old and, outdated, but that doesn't mean that old and dated things can't be good. The movement of both games are pretty solid, although there are some outdated mechanics for Killing Floor 1 that kinda take me out of it. You can run in Killing Floor 2, but the only way to run in Killing Floor 1 is to grab out a knife and then hope that you move fast enough. And hope that you move fast enough to get to the trader in time. In Killing Floor 1, you don't have to worry about what weapon you're holding. You will pretty much just run at the same speed as everyone else, unless you're playing as Berserker or Field Medic. You're either behind or in front. But that doesn't mean it's always a bad thing. The only reason why Field Medics and Berserkers have higher, they run faster, is because, well, they both have very important things. Berserkers are supposed to get into the front lines and actually wreck shit. They're supposed to be wrecking havoc and, pushing things to the test, while Field Medics are supposed to be able to get to their teammates in time and make sure that no one dies, and keeping the game running. Everyone in Killing Floor 2 and Killing Floor 1 always had some sort of purpose. Didn't matter what kind of purpose it was, just as long as you were doing your job. Such as supports having to weld doors and then stay behind to make sure that they stay shut, demolitionists being able to hold off smaller Zeds and even bigger Zeds using a wide arsenal of weapons. Field Medics and Berserkers, like I said, have very important roles, bigger roles than almost literally everyone. Commandos being able to spot out cloaked Zeds and having to clear out trash. Now, that's only just about a little bit of what some of the perks have to offer, because everyone always has something, let me tell you. But yeah, that's usually for it, and my next topic is, well, the Zeds. The Zeds in this game are plenty of many. You have the normal clots, the slasher, and the cyst, all being low level, low health, but different attacks. Clots being, just kind of the original, the OGs. Slashers being faster and more unpredictable with their movements, as well as their attacks, and Cysts being the slowest of the clots, just kind of being able, not exactly doing much, and they do probably less damage than almost everything in the game. Like Crawlers. Crawlers have the lowest health pool, unless I'm getting that wrong, and Stalkers do. Crawlers being dark and arachnid mans. Kind of like a Spider-Man, but it went wrong whenever you got bit by the spider, you know? And, you know, Stalkers being able to turn invisible, but it being, you know, flawed, and you can still kind of see them phase somewhat in and out. So you can either get a really good shot, or if you're Commando, you can already see their outline, and you can just shoot at them. Bloats being very, very spongy on their torso and, you know, everything else. So aiming for their heads, because that's the least spongy part, and you can take off their heads pretty easily just by shooting at it, is the best way to go. EDARs, which are the only one, which only show up in Killing Floor 2, are robots. You aim for their chest, because if you go for their head, they're going to be able to still walk around and you know where you are. You have three different ones. You have the Trapper, which uses an electrical field to trap you. Laser blasters, I think they're called, shoot lasers at you and can cause fire damage. The Rocketeers, I don't know actually what they're called, but they shoot rockets at you, causing explosive damage. You also have the Gorefist and the Gorefiend. The Gorefiend only showing up in Killing Floor 2, but the Gorefist showing up in both games. The Gorefist and the Gorefiend move at higher rates of speed, and they also have harder attacks than what Clots do, but have lower attacks than the Bloat. And they move somewhat fast. They easily chase after you after a short amount of time and after a short amount of damage as well. You also have the tankiest of the bunch, the Flesh Pound and the Scrake. Both of them being, you know, big, tanky, and can inflict a lot of damage if you aren't careful enough. You know, especially on Hell on Earth, where they can run faster than both Berserks and Field Medics. And Scrakes are only enraged whenever you shoot at them at a certain amount of time, and Flesh Pounds being enraged either from not being shot at or, you know, having damage done to them. Again, I'd say the best way to the best way to take care of them is to save the Scrake for last. They're slow whenever you first meet them, so they're not exactly the biggest threat, even though they can inflict a ton of damage. Just make sure you keep your guard up whenever you're seeing them. Before I go on to the game modes and stuff, and go deeper into, like, my opinion on the game, and, you know, me explaining the rise and fall, at least where I think of where it went wrong, I want to make this an intermission. I'm gonna put an intermission into these edited videos, because in every other video you can pause. I might as well just give you just kind of a small little thing here. Not only would I like to thank you, the viewer, and my subscribers, I would also like to thank Tripwire for enacting a policy where you can use the soundtrack of Killing Floor, and I reached out to one of the composers earlier today, and, well, at the time of recording this, I reached out to him and asked if I could, you know, use some of his music in the video, and then he linked it to me. I would like to thank Tripwire for enacting that policy, because YouTube would have fucked me if I, you know, did any other song. There might be a couple copyright songs here and there. I'm not sure if if Bitter End is one. I'll probably have to check it, and, you know, I am going to leave a link to the playlist down below to the first and second soundtrack and the specific songs that I used in this video. And, you know, I just can't thank them enough for actually allowing this shit. because I feel like YouTube really does not let a lot of things fly now, given that they're a much bigger corporation. So I would like to thank Tripwire for that, and let's move back on. Let's move back into the video. Now the game modes goes as follows. Survival is the the natural one. Weekly being the weekly objective, usually having some sort of special thing. Endless, of course, being endless, and objective mode being, well, you do a bunch of objectives. I would like to touch on like objective mode more than every other one, unless we're talking about the multiplayer one, endless versus survival, which has you and your friends pinned against each other as Zeds versus, everything else. It's much better in my opinion. It would have been much better in my opinion if every Zed was added and, it was updated more frequently. Sadly, it's just been kind of abandoned, and the only time I usually played it was with me, like, it was just, like, with friends and stuff. Objective mode, though, in Killing Floor 1 and then Killing Floor 2, I think objective mode in Killing Floor 1 does it so much more better. It blows Killing Floor 2 objective mode out of the water, just because of, like, how kind of half-assed, objective mode is in the second game. Just because of, you usually have a very set amount of objectives in Killing Floor 2. In Killing Floor 1, you had some very unique objectives, like having to escort a person, like in fucking Lockhart's House of Fun or something. It was the amusement park one, and you even had you even had Transit. That was an amazing objective map. I remember loving that one, and I remember even coming back to it as just like playing around. Even fucking if I can remember it, I think there was one called Fright Yard, and it was one for Halloween, and that was a great objective mode map, just because of how, like, unique it was. And I think Tripwire had completely missed the reason why objective mode was so loved and wanted so much in Killing Floor 2. Like, in Killing Floor 1, it had unique objectives. You had to work together to actually make it out alive. If you weren't with a team, you had to make sure you covered all your spots, made sure that you were using the right weapons, made sure that you knew what the map was. In Killing Floor 2, usually you've played every single map already, because, you've played through the game. You've probably played through the game as long as I have, and it's a pretty sad amount of hours that I've put into the game, but still, nonetheless, it's enough to put that in. And objective mode in Killing Floor 2 is just kind of weld this, weld that, escort a robot that you have to weld. You don't have to wait, because the reason why escorting a human is better than a robot is because escorting a robot, you have to weld it, meaning that you have to just kind of only risk your welding. Especially, this is easy for support specialists, so you're probably going to stick them with the job because they can weld faster. They have welding capability of doing it better. And sorry. And in the first game, you had, whenever you were escorting humans, you had to use your own health items. Well, you had to use the healing syringe, which slowed down the time to where you could be healing yourself. You had to make a choice. You either had to completely sacrifice the healing syringe and wait your turn to heal up, or you had to heal yourself, and hopefully you would have enough to heal the person you were escorting. And that's the reason why I really don't like the escort missions in Killing Floor 2, because they're just bland. You have there's no risk you're welding it. You're welding a robot. That's just about it. If it were a human, you'd have more risk, because you're risking the fact that you have to be at 100% to heal yourself. You can't be at 50%. You can heal the person in Killing Floor 1 that you're escorting twice, and 2 needle shots. But also, then again, both animations take a certain amount of time. And there was also carrying missions. Carrying missions in Killing Floor 2, I think, were genuinely massively upgraded from Killing Floor 1, because Killing Floor 1, you had a massive amount of, you know, you still had your own arsenal. You can use literally everything you have. In Killing Floor 2, you pick up one thing and you have to carry it to the other objective. And I think Killing Floor 2 did this part better. An objective is that you're carrying and you have to protect yourself if you don't have teammates. They pretty much just have you hold it in your hands, because if you grab any other weapon, you're gonna instantly drop it. So you have to pretty much use it, so they gave you attacks to use it. You have the strong attack if you're a berserker, the light attack and strong attack. But if you're any other class, like support, like anything else but berserker, you have only a small bash. And I think Killing Floor 2 did that because it's much more riskier, and you rather have to stay on the path you were going on, or you had to go a completely different one to get to the objective. And the welding ones in both, I feel like it's just not great in Killing Floor 2, because in Killing Floor 1, if you had a good team, if you welded all the boxes or whatever, and you reached the certain requirement, it was super fast. It's also extremely easy. For Killing Floor 2, you have multiple boxes you have to weld. That means you have to wait, meaning that you have to wait for long periods of time, and you know, it's just awkward, in my opinion. You have to wait for a certain period of time in order to move on to the next weld, and it's kind of dumb in my opinion. So I think Killing Floor 1 does it better. And then the holdout ones. The holdouts in Killing Floor 1 either had you in a very small space, like in Fright Yard, you had to stand on one pedestal, and you pretty much had to stand there, letting all Zeds know that you're open if you don't have a team. If you do have a team, you have people surrounding the one person on the thing, so you can wait for the objective to pass by. You also have in the Lockhart one, where you're holding out, you have to heal him while you're waiting for that certain amount of time. Now, you have 2 different types of holdout missions in Killing Floor 2. You have the one where you interact with something, and then you have the one where you do absolutely nothing but shoot. I think the one where you actually interact with something could be, you know, it works, but it could be better. And the ones where you just wait, like usually for a finale, I mean, it works, but I think it's just way too long to wait because it's just boring. Because by that point, you have really overpowered weapons, or you already have upgraded gear, and such. It's just, you know, yeah, it's not great. And it's kind of sad, because they could have definitely done something with this. And, you know, with the holdout missions in Killing Floor 1 being, like, amazing and all, I'd say Killing Floor 1 doesn't. Actually, I think Killing Floor 1 almost entirely does objective missions, like objective mode, so much more better, even though it only has 3 maps. I'm going to do this part a little quick. I was going to dedicate an entire part to this video, but I realized that this video was going on for really long, like longer than I wanted it to, and that's not exactly something I'm cool with making it so long. So this is going to be kind of a fast part. This is about the bosses. The bosses in the game, in both games, are, well, as it goes. Bosses are bosses. Some of them are hard, but some of them are sadly very easy. So in the first game, you only had one boss. You had the Patriarch. He was a skinny dude, can shoot rockets at you, and can shoot bullets at you. He can shoot a lot of fucking shit at you. If you weren't careful, that is. Now, he was the only boss in the game, meaning that you can easily learn his moves and everything that he has, and then you can beat him on every single difficulty if you know what you're doing. Now, if you're playing on Hell on Earth, just quit. You're dead already. It shoots one rocket at you, half the team is wiped out. Just fucking end it. Not really. Keep going. It's trial and error. Trust me. That was a joke. In Killing Floor 2, at the time of recording this, July 20th, 2020, there are 5 bosses. The Matriarch, Abomination, Patriarch, Hans Volter, and King Fleshpound. Now, the Matriarch is the hardest. The easiest is Abomination. Abomination fucking sucks. It's abominable. Pretty much he just has armor, shoot it off, or get one of his goo minions, shoot it at, make sure to shoot it close to where he is. It usually knocks him down. Then you can just completely destroy him after his armor's off. He's dead, just shoot at him until he's, fully dead again. King Fleshpound, just a Fleshpound, same weak spots, has a shield, but that's just about it. But he's just a Fleshpound with harder attacks, that's just about it. Now, sorry if I'm talking too fast, I'm just trying to get this part done. The Patriarch is nearly the same. He can shoot 3 missiles at once, can shoot bullets longer, and he can even have access to a motor strike, and he can even grapple you. He can pull him towards you and kick you, so just jump whenever he's about to hit you with pretty much hand-to-hand attacks. Hans Volter, he can grapple you to take health away from you whenever you, if you don't destroy his shield and knock him down, he'll grab you and he'll heal off of you. He'll actually take your health and use it as his own. Now he also attacks faster than every other boss, and I mean every single other boss. Every other single boss has some sort of fucking delay before their attacks. So yeah. And then the Matriarch. Matriarch has shield, head armor, arm armor. Yeah, arm armor is what I said, but I think I fucked that up because I said it too fast. And, it's just kinda, it's the hardest boss. She can shoot a laser at you, which can fuck you up if you're not careful, especially if you have no armor. She can also shoot a fucking electric ball at you, which can lower your health fucking by a ton. She can grapple you if you take off her arm and her head. Well, her armor. She can grab you, and then she has attacks to Sonic Blast and fucking Electric Blast. Then whenever you get her to her final stage, she can cloak. But she usually runs in a straight line, so just keep shooting. So you're pretty much, because she doesn't run away. She doesn't run away like the Patriarch. The Patriarch runs. And usually you want to get him before he heals again. But yeah, that's just about it. That's the bosses, and now I'm going to get deep into the meat and bones of this. So, the meat and bones, what I mean, is pretty much just like my opinion and where I think where it kind of just dropped. And this is going to be the final part of this video. It's a good game, in all honesty. It's a good game. I get usually burnt out from wave shooters every now and then, and zombie shooters always kind of, yeah, they get me worn out of them, and I get tired of them very easily. But with Killing Floor, it was something special because it looked great, it had a great premise, and the fucking science behind it is amazing. And I gave this, whenever I was thinking even about this video, I was wanting to give this game another shot because I was like, wow, it's amazing. Because I was like, just because it has DLC weapons right now, and, they've made some questionable decisions with finances, doesn't mean I have to completely abandon the game. I'm glad to have come back to this game, because I got to learn a lot more about the game again than I did before. which makes me kind of happy, actually, because it means that I get to go back to having more hours on this game than literally every other game that I own. And it's just, like I said, it holds a very special place in my heart. The soundtrack is great. I've been using music in the background this entire video, which is kind of expected, but it's from the game. And I did say this in the intermission. I will leave links to these songs down below and even the playlists, because, wow, are these amazing tracks. They're gotten from very talented bands, Demon Hunter and other people. Sorry, I only usually listen to Demon Hunter songs, because the Demon Hunter songs and then the synthetic songs are fucking amazing in my opinion. And I would also like to talk about the atmosphere from both games. And I think sadly Killing Floor 1 has the best atmosphere out of both games, given that Killing Floor 1 is very bright. It is super bright. Like, you have light on almost every single map. You have light on enemies as well. Which isn't exactly a bad thing. It's just that, I don't know, it just doesn't remind me of Killing Floor 1 at all. Because Killing Floor 1 had this beautiful, grainy, run-down aesthetic. It felt so abandoned. Actually, it felt great to look at, like, it was just awesome to go back and just see, like, the old parts of Killing Floor 1 and how it looked. It was beautiful. I mean, it looked beautiful. It's run down, it's very industrial, so is the music. The music in Killing Floor 1 is extremely industrial. And, you know, the music in Killing Floor 2 is extremely just heavy metal. It's just heavy metal. It's not industrial metal or anything. It's not bad, I have to say, but it definitely is. It definitely is just kind of one of those things that I didn't expect in Killing Floor 2, because I expected Killing Floor 2 to literally one-up fucking Killing Floor 1, which it did in most things, but Killing Floor, the OG, does it better than the second, and usually the younger can learn faster, right? Anyway, that's my opinion. I love this game. It's a great game. And if you have the money on a sale on Steam, I'd say get it. And if you want the DLC weapons, you can get them, because I did get them because, you know, I'm a puss and I'd rather much play with the weapons. But also, it's just that it was awesome to just play with the new things, even though they were giving us new mechanics to deal with in the weapons. Still, nonetheless, I'm not complaining, although having spent more money on the game, that is, as much as I am spending time with it, it's just a little weird in my opinion, but I can see where they were going with it. I'm not exactly too mad, but I am a little disappointed that they did add DLC weapons again. And where do I think they went wrong? It was definitely the DLC weapons. I know I said I wasn't, like, angry about them, but I do think they went wrong with the prices, at least. The prices are kind of ludicrous. $10 for a fucking, like, weapon in a game. It's with 5 exclusive skins. I don't see, like, I can see the bundle being better, because it is. It's definitely better, because you're getting, it's only $15, and on top of that, it's cheaper, and since it's cheaper, it's, you know, much more easier to just kind of take care of whenever you have the money. So yeah, in all honesty, I think the game does deserve more recognition than what it got. And I do think they could have held off on Gary Busey being Santa Claus, but, you know, if you're gonna be a big game, you might as well start it off big, right? So yeah, that's my opinion, my take on Killing Floor 2 and where it went wrong. So, thank you for watching, and I'll hopefully see you in another video like this. Thank you, literally, thank you for watching. This is better than the Not a Hero video instantly over any time. Thank you for watching, again.